Today, we're talking about a new Sharing is Caring initiative, essentially the patterns and practices hands-on guidance for contributions. So wanted to start out with looking at the slide that was just debuted from Vesa on Tuesday. Now, this is awesome, all these contributions, and as small as this font is, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to guess that Vesa would love nothing more than to be forced to create 2 or more of these slides because there are so many contributions. But we also know that that sort of growth probably isn't going to happen with just enough positive encouragement in all the world because there are certain technical challenges, right, that come with the GitHub contribution process. I'm also going to guess that there's probably someone on this call right now that would like to contribute, but maybe has felt a little intimidated or unsure or unaware of the steps needed to make those contributions. And knowing that they're all publicly available when you make them, they might be afraid they're going to make a mistake. So we're going to help remove those fears and provide experience, starting with a Sharing is Caring initiative. And we're going to start with some cleaner documentation. So let's go ahead and look at that. So you'll notice that this documentation has been updated. It's more aligned with some that we see in the React components, Pnp.js, etc. So it should be a little easier to start consuming. It's not so GitHub-y when you get there. Now, there's been some fair questions and perspective from the community around if someone is afraid to use GitHub, how is creating a GitHub repo going to help them? Mark Anderson had a fantastic example of this. He had said, I remember back when I got a VCR, I think we're all probably old enough to know what a VCR is. I didn't know how to use my VCR, but with my VCR came an actual VHS tape that had instructions on how to use the VCR. But I didn't know how to use the VCR, so what good did the tape do, right? Huge fail on the part of the VCR company. But imagine if the VCR company provided a person that helped train you live with hands-on guidance. And that's really what the goal of the Sharing is Caring initiative is. It's not just a repo for you to come read another set of instructions. Nope, the repo is a landing spot and also a sandbox that will help connect everyone in the community that wants to contribute to scheduled sessions that you can register to attend, and it's going to provide live hands-on guidance, and it's going to walk you through the contribution process every step of the way so that we can remove any of the fears that you may have in that process and equip you with the experience and the confidence and the power to feel like you can contribute without feeling like you're going to make a mistake or do something wrong. So let's start by looking through just a quick glance at what is available. This is the landing page, and I'll provide a short URL that we've got created for it at the end of the demo. But it comes and it talks about the guidance and assistance, right? And so we want to look at the specifically the guidance opportunities. And you can get there by clicking on that link, or you can go to the contribution guidance. And that's going to take you to a few different ideas that we started out with. Now, let's go through them just briefly. The first is for first-time Pnp contributors. And that's really where the biggest hurdle usually is. If you've never done it and you land on a GitHub page, it can be a little intimidating. So in this case, we're going to provide you no experience required, and all you need is your browser and a GitHub account. And we'll walk you through creating live on a call together, creating a GitHub pull request. And that just means creating an update and submitting the change. And in this case, for first-time contributors, usually the quickest and easiest way to do that is updating the documentation. Well, even if you are comfortable with updating the documentation, you may be uncomfortable with going in and making a change to one of the live dev docs, right? docs.microsoft.com documents, simply because you're not sure if you're going to make a mistake. What the repo, and this is the beauty of the Sharing is Caring repo, is we will pre-create documents that need to be updated. And so you're in a safe zone to be able to make those updates during the session. And at the end of the session, that will actually count towards your first Pnp contribution. So how awesome is that? And you'll get to experience it from all the way beginning to end. And so the way you would start out to register is you'll notice down here at the bottom, there is a contribution registration form link. And you would just click that. I'll open it here in a new tab. And it's really lightweight. It just asks for your name, email, and GitHub account profile name so that we can kind of capture that in advance. And that helps us preset some of the content that'll be available there during the session. We're trying to determine the best time. We are a global community, so we can't just simply say, despite Vesa's best efforts to have a single time zone, it doesn't fit and it doesn't work. So we're trying to find whether or not we need additional sessions, right? If there's additional sessions where maybe we need to meet in mornings or evenings or both to meet everybody's requirements and requests to be able to take advantage of this opportunity, then we'll definitely do that. Now, that's not just it, right? So there are going to be additional opportunities. You may say, hey, that's great. I want to start with the documentation. And I've walked through people that have started there and they said, this is awesome. I want to do more, though. I've got an idea for a code contribution. So we're going to be setting up additional sessions around being able to, if you've got a fantastic sample you want to submit but not sure how, it's a little more complex than simply updating a piece of document, then we're going to create sessions for that. And even beyond that, you may say, I'm a developer, but I don't really have any of my own samples. Well, we also want to set up where you can take a look at the samples that are already in the repo, and a lot of them get outdated, and that's understandable. It's community driven. We get busy, we submit a sample, and then we move on. But there is a great way to help the community by upgrading those with the Office 365 CLI. And so that'll be another session that we'll be creating that'll walk you through that process. All right, so those are the three. If you have an idea around additional sessions that might be of value or you want to brainstorm around it, definitely reach out and let us know. So let me go back to the slides here. Now, where can you put this to use, right? We talked about DevDocs. So that's one of the first easiest low-hanging fruit that we can help walk you through. And so we'll show you that in the first contributor session if you sign up for that. There's also the usage docs. So Mark Anderson has been really working hard on putting together the repo for usage docs. Again, this goes in line with what you see here on the dev docs. You'll be able to take that experience and parlay it down into the dev docs, and that will really help the community as well. We had talked about the SPFX sample. So Hugo Bernier had created that amazing interactive gallery of the web parts that are easier to find. And one of those ways that you can find web parts there is by looking at version. So it makes it really easy to find the older versions that might need to be updated, and bam, that's a contribution, right? So there's three takeaways here. First of all, you're not alone. Our community success is based upon community support, and that doesn't just mean encouraging people to contribute and then leaving them on their by themselves alone to do that. We really have a responsibility to help one another, and this is one of the first ways that we're looking to do that. It's more than just GitHub, right? So we're not just looking, as you could see with the CLI session, this is not just about, hey, we're going to give you experience with submitting stuff that you need to go create on your own in a bubble, and then submit it to GitHub. You saw that provides you access on how to submit it using GitHub, but also it exposes you to amazing other tools like the CLI. That project upgrade command is amazing and super powerful and not hard to use, and it'll give you exposure to code that's out there. It'll allow you to upgrade it and allow you to resubmit it back in. And so check out that short link, Sharing is Caring, aka.ms/sharing is caring. And then feel free to reach out to me on Twitter if you have any questions. I'm always happy to help and love the interaction, and we're all in this together. So one last thing, you may have noticed the little teaser around the Pnp Contribution Challenge rewards, right? So I've been working with Vess on this. We're still working on it, right? You get some swag, everybody gets some swag. Everybody wants a little swag, and we all love to see our names in the bright lights of that contribution slide on the monthly call. Love to see our company name up there. But let's face it, we love swag a little more. So this is coming soon. Nothing's set yet in stone, but it's an exciting opportunity. Maybe some stickers or some mugs or something like that. So keep an eye out for that. I think this is going to be a really exciting way to help encourage and provide some giving back to the community in a way that hasn't happened yet. So hope you guys want to get involved. Feel free to reach out. Again, aka.ms, sharing is caring. And thanks for the time.
Great. Thanks, David, for that.